Hey everybody, my name is Jenny and welcome to Veritable Volatility. Once upon a time, I was scrolling on Lattafa's website and Sehr really captivated me because, need I say any more? Chances are if you've come across this video, you know what the general consensus is with this bottle. It's something to behold. I feel like with design, particularly in perfume and pretty much just anything like home decor, makeup, anything like that, we're in an age of minimalism, and something like this just isn't popular with many people, but I love it. I love gaudiness in bottles. We'll talk about that more. If you've been here before, you'd know that we have two rating systems when it comes to perfume reviews. The first is the generalized review, in which there are four categories. The scent, the longevity/sillage, the mood, and the art/symbolism of the perfume. And then after this, we do my Realgar stars rating, which, if you don't know, is a rating on how arsenic mayhem a perfume is, and arsenic mayhem is my persona. How me is it? How much does it resonate with me? If you don't care about that, which understandable, you can click off. I'll have timestamps. As I said, we're going to be starting with the generalized review, in which the first category is the scent. So the notes in this perfume are, according to Fragrantica, on the top it's bitter almond and cinnamon. In the middle it is akigala wood, pomerose, and jasmine. And in the base, it is vanilla absolute, tonka bean, and amber. So I want to start off by saying that I do not get pomerose and jasmine at all. I think at one point, I got like a whiff of pomerose. If you don't know what pomerose is, it's a chemical that is supposed to smell vaguely of, I think, roses and apples. I got like a slight tinge of apple one time sniffing this. I have it on my wrist right now. I was like, it smells kind of appley, but maybe that's just like an association I have with cinnamon, because cinnamon and apples go together. So I don't even know. Yeah, and I don't get any jasmine at all whatsoever. I've never gotten jasmine with this, and this has macerated for at least 2 weeks, at least 3 weeks now. I don't get that at all. Don't get that at all. What I mainly get with this scent is the almond and vanilla are the strongest to me. It smells edible. It's pretty gourmand. And the tonka bean and amber are pretty present in the dry down. Akigala wood is supposed to smell vaguely of like a nice, gentle type of oud smell, and I do get it. It smells a lot like Vietnamese oud, as opposed to oud from a different region in South or Southeast Asia. Vietnamese oud is a lot more gentle, and it's not typically as like animalic or barnyard or like dirty smelling as other types of oud. It's more just like musky and pleasant smelling. I actually have a bracelet of Vietnamese oud right here. Vietnamese agar wood. And it smells like that in the dry down. I get a lot of that in the dry down. Even though akigala wood is listed in the middle, it dries down to this really nice, just like smoky, musky, light, effervescent type of scent. It's really nice. When I first like really got into fragrance, pigeonholed myself as the type of person to just not like oud at all, because people say it smells like shit and it smells like just dirty everything. Animal, ball sack, testicles. When you do that sort of thing, you miss out on things, like I said, a nice smelling oud. Like the really just, I don't even know how to, it's like smoky smelling. It's very oriental, mysterious smelling type of oud smell. That is the type of oud that I love, or that I've learned that I really love. So I don't hate oud, I just hate thematically and how it smells anyways. Anything dirty smelling. So I hate like animalics. Typically I don't really love. Like I don't like leather in perfume. I just don't like to smell like that. If the point of perfume is to cover up like the odor of what a mammal you are, like BO and stuff, why would you put it in a like, that just makes no sense to me. I don't know. Like I get it, like it just adds like depth and like a little bit of edge to your perfume, but like not really my symbolically favorite thing. I think overall though, this scent is really well blended. I know I said that vanilla is supposed to be like a base note, I think I said, but it's in the top. It's on the top and it dries down to like pure like musky, smoky, spicy oud. The almond is supposed to be bitter almond, and it is quite bitter, especially when you smell it up close. That's in the top. It smells very nutty, and it's not that cherry almond type of smell that you get with like your typical almond note in a perfume. I guess you could describe it as green, even though I wouldn't describe it as green. It's just like, it's bitter smelling, but in a really good way that adds just like sort of a nice contrast to the sweetness of the vanilla and everything else in the tonka and stuff. Actually, it makes me feel happy, and I'll get into this later, but it's a magical smell, which is ironic because Sehr means magic in Arabic. Let's just move on. I don't even know what I'm saying. You know what? Now that I'm really thinking about it, the appliness is coming through in the Pomerose. But it's something you kind of have to think about. Overall, just very sweet, a little bit bitter at the top, and it dries down to a nice wood. If you like that sort of thing, I don't know why you wouldn't like this. People say this isn't for the faint of hearted. I think it's a pretty safe blind buy if you're a fan of woody scent profiles. I loved it. I bought this blindly and I was not disappointed at all. The next category in the system is going to be the longevity / sillage. Pretty easy one. This is sort of like a moderate to good sillage, like pretty nice. Like people will be able to smell you, but the longevity is excellent. Like you'll take a shower and you'll still smell that bitch on your skin. It lasts a pretty long time, so don't worry about it. I mean, this is an Arab fragrance, and Lattafa is just phenomenal with the strength of the perfumes, especially considering their prices. So don't worry in that department at all. It's not the most beast mode fragrance by Lattafa by any means. Like I always say this, but Atlas by Lattafa is actual nuclear. It's impossible to get off of anything. I'm scared of that one. This doesn't hold a candle to that, but it's very strong. I wouldn't complain about it at all, considering this is like $20 off Amazon or like $30, I forget. It's good, okay? Don't worry about this at all. The third category in the system is the mood. Where would you wear this? When? What's the occasion? So like any like gourmand or woody or warm scent, this is perfect for colder weather, winter and fall. Like I was saying, this just has like a magical influence on me. Smelling it the first time, like it made me laugh. It made me like I have this urge to like laugh or cry. It just makes me feel hysterical. It has some sort of like magic influence on me. I don't know why. Fire in my belly, like my diaphragm. Like it just does that to me. I might be weird for that, and you can call me weird if you want to. This one is good for winter, but honestly, I think it would be great as a transition scent from summer to fall or from winter to spring because it has some sort of edge to it. Maybe it's from the Pomerose. It just smells like there's a sharpness to it. Maybe from the bitterness of the almond, but I feel like it could work. You don't have to like strictly pigeonhole gourmand or woody scents as winter or fall. You could break the rules a little bit, and I just like would like to talk about that because no one seems to talk about that at all. So this is charisma in a bottle. If you're in some sort of situation where you want someone to like really like you, like keep thinking about you, like damn, this person was just, they really got to me. I really like their style. I love their vibe. Maybe even like a interview or anything like that. You want to make a really good first impression. If you want someone to even like you beyond the cordial level, if you just want somebody to keep thinking about you, like damn, I really want to be this person's friend, or like if you want somebody to fall in love with you, this would be great for that. It just makes people think about you. It's a really just thought-provoking scent, and it just really sticks in people's minds. People make comparisons between this and Milk Plus by Commodity, which I have. I get the comparison. This one has way more cinnamon and it's more milk. It has the sour milk accord in it. So they smell similar. They definitely have like the same sort of profile. I don't want to say DNA because DNA to me is like specific to a brand. I hate when people say DNA just to refer to the fact that they have similar notes. Like, no, that's not how DNA works. It's more like, it's deeper than that. Like, two different brands can have the same DNA. Like, what? Are you stupid? Anyway, I'm sorry if I ever sound rude. Sometimes I just like say whatever's on my mind and I get like very judgmental. It's fine. Now for the fourth and final category of the generalized review, we're going to be talking about the art and symbolism of Sehr by Lattafa. So this is the category in which I aestheticize it and like talk about it as if it were a person. Sehr right here, it could be either a guy or a girl. I didn't really get a very specific gender with this one, as I did with Velvet. Velvet was a girl, well, it could have been a boy. And then Milk was very feminine to me, but that says nothing about like, because I have like a gender category coming up, it doesn't really mean very much about like the technical like gender of the perfume. It's just like a vision I got. I was like, yeah, imagining a guy or a girl who loves to work hard. It's like really overactive mind, lots of ideas, lots of great ideas and inspiration, but doesn't always necessarily put these ideas into reality or manifestation because there's just so much going on through their mind. They couldn't possibly put everything into reality. There's lots of air and fire energy with this because it's a dragon. Fire symbolizes drive and passion. The opposite of depression, basically. Just like really motivated type of energy. And then air is really flighty, like you're thinking a lot. going really fast, like talking really fast, you know? What this person is. Really charismatic person. They love to talk. They may say some things that offend people sometimes by accident, but they don't mean it. It's just like they have no filter. Like it just keeps going on and on and on, kind of like me. They're also very mysterious and probably very spiritual. Like people will think like, wow, how does this person achieve such a look? They just have this like sort of aura to them. How do they get their hair to look like that? How do they like look so good? How do they get their makeup to like, I want to like, what makeup do they use? Where do they get their clothes? It's just like, there's so much mystery and aura to them. And they also might try their hand at manifestation, but they're not very good at it because they overthink things. They just like have a really overactive mind that just isn't created for manifesting. Just full of energy, this type of person. When they just exist normally, they're manifesting. They've got this magic to them. Their thoughts turn into their new reality. I sound crazy right now. But yeah, this is truly an amazing, untouchable person. If you can hear the song that's playing right now, this is one of my favorite songs on planet Earth of all time. It's Nice Dream by Radiohead. Now we're going to be moving on to the Realgar star section of this video. If you don't care about that, then you can click off. It was nice seeing you. Bye-bye. My house is so noisy. It makes me insane. For each category, I give 1 star, and then I'll rate it on a scale from like 0.1 all the way to 1. For each category. So at the end we'll add up the 5 categories and you'll get something out of 5 stars. So just like, you know, 5-star rating system but subdivided. I'm gonna put up the notes on screen which I think influence a perfume's masculinity and femininity, and probably also some unisex notes just to make things clear. So on paper, this perfume has more, according to my rules, feminine notes than masculine notes, namely the jasmine and the pomerose, but like I said, those are pretty much non-existent. And also the woodiness absolutely dominates the dry down. Like it's all you could smell, and woodiness is a masculine note. I mean, vanilla and almond dominate the top section of the journey in this perfume, but overall, if I like, you know, factor both sides of the gender spectrum, I get that this is like ever so slightly feminine, like unisex, but ever so slightly feminine, which if you're new here, that's the perfect, you know, arsenic mayhem coated gender for a perfume, just like a little bit feminine energy. So I gave this category a perfect 1 star. Congratulations. Number 2 of Realgar stars, the notes. So how do the notes symbolize type of person she is, her message to the world, and all that? How is it her? How is it me? So this is one of the first perfumes in which I could genuinely detect an almond. Like Velvet is supposed to have almonds in it, but I didn't really get much almond. This I get like a strong almond essence in, which is amazing. Almonds relate to poison, and like duh, arsenic. Make that connection. Cinnamon equals fire, which like I'll say ad nauseum and so on and so forth. That this is one of arsenic's elements. Air and fire is just like her jam. If anything symbolizes either air or fire or both, I'm going to take it as symbolism for a girl. Yeah, cinnamon is fire, spice for life, as it were. And being a wood, Akigala is masculine energy, like I said in the gender section, and there's kind of just this theme of wood for masculine energy in arsenic's perfumes. A lot of the perfumes I rate very highly in this section have wood in them. It's just my profile, man. Resonates with me. Need I say any more? Wood in here is quite smoky and Vietnamese oudi, and smoke relates to air and fire, obviously. Fire creates smoke, and smoke is... And the fact that this oud isn't skanky or gross at all, it just adds to the beauty of it all. Yeah, dirty notes, just I don't do in my symbolism section. And as I've said before, wood is like my hard truth note. It represents like masculine, like non-delulu thinking, like hard truth, this is how things are. But this truth is very, like I said, unknown and anxious. It's like something you haven't discovered yet. It's inspirational and wonderful. It's like flat 6 energy. If I was gonna be, that's what I wrote down, flat 6 energy, because I'm like that much of a music nerd. Hello, it's this energy. It's how this note makes you feel. Wait a minute. That kind of energy. Wonderful and powerful feeling. I can't go through a single one of these videos without calling myself a nerd. Like, it's fine to be a nerd. If you're interested in things, it means you're not gonna get depressed and die of suicide. Because I'm not gonna get in the YouTube algorithms if I say that word. We're supposed to have those 2 feminine notes of jasmine and pomerose, but like I said, they're non-existent, so I think this symbolizes, you know, an effort to not seem girly. Trying to be tough and trying not to be sissy. which the persona of Arsenic Mayhem tends to do sometimes. Like, she kind of like suppresses that side of her. And in this case, the comfort and the feeling of control that vanilla symbolizes, like I've talked about before in my previous videos, represents the comfort of workaholism. Like, you know, just trying really hard to control things and like do as much work as you can so that you don't have to worry about anything. Basically just like OCD. Or it could represent the comfort in realizing how hard you've worked in the past. And you'd be like, wait, I'm kind of based. I'm kind of amazing. You ever feel like that? If not, then I sincerely hope you do one day, because it's a really good feeling. Like, wait, I'm kind of magical. And lastly, Tonka and Amber are just really good warm bases. Like, you know, musk is typically a base note. Tonka and Amber are base notes. Those are the warm ones. Musk is like neutral. I'd say like a cooler, like more fresh base note that's typically used would be like maybe tobacco. Vetiver is one too. That one can smell pretty cool because vetiver is kind of like grass or hay. Oh yeah, and oak moss too. That's another common base note that is used. Ambergris, that's another cooler one. Yeah, particular notes tend to be base notes, and Tonka and Amber tend to be the warmer ones, and those are just like what you would choose in this kind of scent profile because they represent fire. These notes are magic in the fact that they make me laugh in hysteria. Like, they make me just happy. They're magical. They really are. I know I said like Cosmic by Kylie Jenner just makes me feel that way, but this like genuinely like gives me a visceral reaction like in my diaphragm of laughing. Third category, the name. How does the name resonate? Is there anything particularly offensive? The only way I'll dock points in this category is if there's something particularly like I hate it, and I'm very picky with the names. Like I always say, I love like the name of a perfume actually really matters to me. Just like names just really resonate with me. So if I'm more picky than like the average person. Generally people just don't care about the name, but I do. Yeah, is it cheesy, is it doing too much, particularly offensive or bad? It's called Sehr, which means magic in Arabic. I think it's beautiful. I think very many aspects of this perfume relate to the name magic. Like, there's a reason why they named it magic. Like I was saying, it has this sort of influence on me. It puts me under spell. The magic in this perfume, in a sense, could represent working hard on something while a divine source is filling you with this magical type of inspiration when you're just like in the zone, like flowing, like all of a sudden like you just wrote like 15 pages of it and it's like damn, I was just like on a roll. Now for the category you've been waiting for when it comes to Sehr, the bottle. Okay, I only take away points if it's particularly ugly or offensive or bad. A completely like simple inoffensive bottle such as this one is fine. It could get a perfect one. The only case in which I'd take away points if it's ugly, like the Frenchy bottles with like the fake wood at the top, I think that's very ugly. And the thing with bottles is I love gaudiness. If a bottle is gaudy in like the right way and it just really hits the heartstrings, it expresses the right thing, I'm going to give it an extra point, a 1.1. That's got a 1.1. Congratulations, that's got an extra point. And colors matter. Arsenic's the red girl, so if it breaks the red monochrome rule, it's gonna lose some points, but like gold is fine. It's gold. Gold is just a type of metal. Like it's either like silver or gold. It's the type of metals, the color metals you can have. It's just like, who cares? I'm not gonna be that picky, but like this ball is red. I love dragons. I love fire orbs. It's just like it looks Eastern. Looking at first online, I thought this was a fish. I don't know why, but it's a dragon, and dragons relate to air and fire because they breathe fire and they fly in the air. And dragons also relate to unexpectedness and mystery and like aura. I think the ambiguity of what exactly this is, because it doesn't look very much like a dragon until you like look up close and like I thought it was a fish, just adds to the magic of it. Like, it has lots of golds, which relates to Leo energy, fire, motivation, just like self, finding yourself and all that. A Leo ascendant, so that's why I like love relating things to myself, because I love developing myself. It's what I live for. And I think the air and fire in this perfume is kind of symbolic of magically tossing around passions and ideas in your head, but not necessarily bringing them into fruition, like I said. That would be a very earthy energies, like real life, putting things into real life. Amazing bottle. Final category, the lore or like the marketing. A lot of Lattafa's perfumes, they just want you to think of it as like this luxurious perfume. I'm supposed to think of this as warm and inviting, regal, oriental, because they're from the Middle East and they're like trying to appeal to American audiences. Like just Dubai royalty vibes. That's what they're trying to like get people to freak out over. Not very unique, not very much thought went into like this one in particular. Like I feel like perfumes should be individual pieces of art, and they should like think a lot about these things, but Lattafa just doesn't as a brand. I'm also taking points off because Lattafa lied about the Pomerose and the Jasmine. I don't get that at all. It's like really lazy. And people say like they just mixed Camera with like other perfumes like they had in their like arsenal that they didn't know what to do with. Marketed it as a new scent called Sehr, which makes me sad. Nonetheless, this has great aestheticization potential. Put a 0.7, which is not bad, but you know, had to take off some points. Let's add up all the points, shall we? So in total, Sehr by Lattafa gets a 4.8 Realgar stars out of 5, which is pretty damn good in the grand scheme of all the perfumes I've rated on my system. For reference, Velvet, which is my highest rated perfume, has a 4.9. Milk Plus has a 4.85. Gold Minus has a 4.8, so this one ties with that one. I haven't done a review on Gold Minus, but it's probably the next one I'm gonna do after this. Just for some closing remarks, I love Arab perfumes, but something just makes me think it's like people always ask, how do they do it? How does Lattafa do it? How do they make their perfumes so cheap, but they last so long and they're so good smelling? There has to be some ill will behind that. What did you think? But shoot, as I always say, everything's gonna die. The earth will vanish one day. The universe will vanish one day. The Big Bang will undo itself at some point in time. And on that note, I always like to end it on a quite existential note. I'm gonna ask you to please keep being you and to stay proud of yourself.